For today's practice, I would definitely recommend a couple blocks or similar if you have them. I think there'll be a few times that you might find that those are useful. I thought that we would start with my sort of, it's my Sun Salutation series with all the little additions that I add to it to beef it up a little bit, and then that takes like 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll do some Pilates at the end. So to start, let's start in child's pose today. So reaching those arms forward. So you actually you bring your toes together either way, but if your knees are together, that's actually technically child's pose. And if your knees are apart, that's resting warrior. They're both perfectly acceptable positions. So just decide what's more comfortable for you right now. Then release yourself down on the mat. And of course, if for some reason neither are comfortable, you can choose whatever resting position you would like to do. And just take a few breaths if you want to do a nice inhale and sigh it out just to release everything into the mat. Letting go of your tension from your Monday. Give it to the earth. The earth can handle it. She'll recycle it and turn it into good energy. Begin to just focus on the breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Feeling your back body expand. Feeling your ribs expand. Noticing where you're in contact with the mat. Feeling that. Noticing any areas of your body that might be feeling tension. And see if you can let them go and just bring your focus to them throughout the practice. And as always, if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do that now. It can be whatever works for you. And if you haven't any ideas, gratitude is always a good one. Remembering to be grateful for all that you have, for all that your body can do, and being gentle if perhaps you can't do something. I'm trying to establish a little bit of a breathing pattern here so that as we flow through this first part of the practice, you're guided by your breath. My cues are just to remind you where we're going, but always moving at the pace of your body, the pace of your breath. Let's go ahead and just curl up onto the backs of the balls of our feet rather, stretch out in puppy posture for a moment. So palms reach out in front, balls of the feet pressing into the mat, sitting down towards your heels now so you're more active. It's similar to child's pose, but a more active stretching pose. Taking a couple of breaths there, feeling the spine lengthen. And walking your hands to one side, I'm going to go right. I push my left hip out to get a curve in that spine sideways. You can go either side, of course, just make sure you do both. So take a couple of breaths. So if you went out to your right side, you should feel yourself breathing into your left side body. And then walk those hands through center, over to the other side, push back again. So you're still sitting back towards the heels, but you're sitting back towards the opposite heel. So if you went left, you're pushing your hip off to the right, more angling towards that heel, so that you've got a curve in your spine to that side. And then bringing those hands back to center, not quite as far out in front of you, because we're going to come up to our down dog. So curling toes under you, pushing yourself up really gently in your first down dog. Knees are bent, maybe you're jogging through. I had high heels on for the first time in quite a while, like a good month. So my calves are a little bit tight. So just work through that. And shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Maybe shake it no again. Take an inhale through your nose. And let's open your mouth, stick out your tongue, and lion's breath it out. One more lion's breath, inhaling. And let it go. And when you're done with that, walk your feet towards the front of your mat, letting yourself hang over. Releasing your arms, your head, your shoulders, your back. Your knees can be really softly bent here. No reason to overstretch your hamstrings. Just let them be soft. Maybe swaying, maybe bouncing, whatever feels good for you. And then dropping your knees, or bending your knees rather, let your hips drop. And let's roll up slowly, restacking one vertebra on top of the other, which is always your more gentle way to round up if you don't want to press up with an extended spine. And when you get all the way up, inhale, extend your arms upwards. Then take a moment here to grow tall. So like someone's lifting you up by that invisible golden thread, pulling you from the crown of your head. Shoulders are still pulling down and back, so your whole back is super engaged. Feet are rooted in the mat, arms are engaged, they're strong, they're lifting, but without compressing the neck. Take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring those hands down by your side, coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. So palms are going to be turned out, just because that opens up our chest and our shoulders and our throat a little bit. Chin tucking a little bit towards chest, just so we're not arching back or sticking our head forward. And find that drishti point, making sure our feet are hips distance apart, rooted in the mat, gazing on that drishti point in front of us, breathing your energy into and out of there. So as I said, we'll be doing, how many rounds is it? 8 rounds of sun salutations. So at any point you can modify, you can skip a vinyasa if your arms are tired. You decide what works for you. Inhale and exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Samastiti, position 1. And on your inhale, extending up. Slight arch in the back if you'd like. On the exhale, hinging forward, long, flat back. On the inhale, lifting halfway up, flat back, releasing. Stepping the right foot back, holding your runner's lunge for a moment, pushing back through that heel. So we'll often be doing things in sets of 5 for this. So you're going to just bend your knee towards the mat and stretch it back again. 4 more times. So just activating that hamstring, pushing the heel away, bending the knee, pushing it away. Last time, pushing it away, stepping the left foot back. So you always have the option in plank to drop down to knees. If you're working in your Chaturanga, I'd rather you do it from knees and master it before doing it from toes. Your option. Everyone lower all the way down, chest, chin, hips into the floor, release the feet, press into the hands and lift up gently just to a baby cobra, warming up the spine, sitting back on your heels, coming to child's pose. And then on the inhale, rising up to your downward facing dog. Jogging through again, pressing one heel towards the mat, pressing the other heel towards the mat. Stepping the feet apart, mat's distance apart, keeping the right hand in the mat. Reach the left hand back for our down dog twist. So you're grabbing your ankle or your calf, or maybe you just make it to the floor, looking past your right armpit. Place that hand back, step your feet back towards the center of the mat, hip distance. So we're going to do a little kick with your right leg. Just be careful here. Don't over vigorously kick because I don't want you to hurt your hamstrings. I just want you to start warming them up. So it's just a lift up of the right leg and back down. So it's a bit of a kick, but again, not with force. More of a lift than a kick. And 2. Last one, leave it up in our 3-legged down dog, pushing that heel away. And now we're going to do everyone's favorite, or at least my favorite, the hinge forward, knee to chest 5 times. So bringing knee to chest, hovering out over the hands. Exhale, kick back up. Extending forward, hovering over the hands, and kick back up. And 3, 2, last one. Kicking up, this time bring that foot all the way forward, plant it down. Now you're gonna runner's lunge on the opposite side. Same thing, gently bend the knee, push the heel away. Bend the knee, extend the hamstring. For 3, 2, last one, then step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway up, exhale, release. Inhale, flat back all the way up. We're going right to the next round. Exhale, extend. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, left foot steps back this time, so we're in a runner's lunge, right foot forward, always knee over ankle. Keeping the left hand in the mat, turning to the right, extending the right arm, gazing up at the ceiling. Taking a breath, and then 5 circles with the arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, this time planting it down, stepping the right foot back to meet the left, plank, option to drop to knees or lower all the way down to the floor. Release the feet, inhale up as much of a cobra as you want, but elbows by the side, shoulders down and back, pushing back to your child's pose. And next inhale, coming up, downward facing dog, jogging through again, making sure that then once you stop, you press your heels towards the mat. Think about the arms. Keep the shoulders rolling away from the ears. No compression in the neck. No pressure on the shoulders. Step the feet apart, mat's distance apart. Reach the right hand back to the left, ankle or calf. Turn and looking towards the left armpit. Down dog twist on this side. And placing the hand back down, step the feet back together. 5 kicks up with the left leg. Swing it up towards the ceiling and place it back down. Up and down, working out that hamstring. 3 and 2. Last one, hinging forward, knee towards chest and kick it back up. Knee towards chest. If you pause out there, makes it even a little bit more challenging. 3 and 2. Last one. And this time step that foot forward. I realized something I forgot to do. We'll do it on the other ones. Keeping the right hand in the mat, turning to the left, extend the left arm. And then 5 circles with the left. Maybe you're inhaling and exhaling for each cycle. Maybe one inhale, next one's an exhale. Place that hand down, step the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale, Samastiti. Good, that was 2. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, release that knee down to the mat, hands behind the left knee, and we're just gonna press forward and release. Hinge forward and release. Starting to open up that hip flexor. Not tracking out too far over the toes. You might go a little bit because there's no weight in your knee. After your 5th one, hinge backwards. This is where for a lot of people blocks might be helpful. To hinge back, I'm going to move it so you can see, and gently rock forward. Be gentle with your right knee. If this is painful, you can skip this rocking movement. Hinge back for 3 and 2. Last one, holding here. Again, hands can be on blocks if it's not comfortable to reach the floor. And then hinging forward, squaring off that left foot with the hands, curl the back toes under, pressing up to your plank. Again, option to come to modified plank. This time we're going to lower down, option to do Chaturanga, hovering above the mat rather than going all the way down. Flip the toes, inhale up to your up dog, exhale back, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Inhale, extend the right leg up, bend the right knee, dropping the foot towards the opposite side, lifting through the right knee, stacking right hip on top of left. And then extend the leg and bend it back in. 4, 3, 2, last one, coming back to center, hinging forward, right knee to right elbow, hinging forward for 5, kick back up, opening up the hip as you come forward, and 3, and 2, last one, knee to elbow. This is what I didn't do last time. We're going to zipper down, go to the wrist and press back up, and 4, and up, 3, 2, last one, kick up, swing forward, right foot outside of the right hand. Wide stance for our lizard lunge. So again, a block can be really helpful here. I want you to come to forearms, so you may need to do that on a block. If it's not comfortable being up on your back leg, you can also release that leg down. Check that knee is over ankle. You don't want your foot way back there. You can be up on a higher level on the block, or you can be all the way down on the mat. So right shoulder is pressing against right inner thigh, opening up that hip. So we're not going to hold any of these stretches for a super long time, maybe like 3 to 5 breaths, depending on your breath. And then bring those hands back to the mat, kick the right leg back up again, and then we're going to come forward, right foot plants down to our lunge, releasing the left knee, hands behind the right knee, hinging forward for 5, 4, nice and slow and steady, 3, I like these dynamic moves to stretch, less likely to injure yourself. 1, hinging back into our half splits, gently rocking forward to release. So you just get into it and then you come out of it. This is a particularly challenging move because of flexibility. 2, last one, option to hold it here. Again, hands can go on blocks if your hands don't easily reach the floor. And then hinging forward, pressing into the right foot and your hands, step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. This time stepping the left foot back, release the left knee into the mat. This time bringing the arms up overhead, opening the chest and shoulders, pulling the shoulders down the back, really driving forward, opening the hip flexor. And then releasing the right arm down, opening up even more through the left side body as you continue to hinge forward. So this really gives you a stretch from your left hip flexor all the way up the side body, all the way up the left shoulder. And then cartwheel the hands down to the mat, once again hinging back to your splits position, half splits, and then point the toe and flex the foot. Point and flex. Point and flex. 2 more. Last one. Come onto your hands, step the right foot back, plank position. Chaturanga option, hovering above the mat. Inhale, coming up to your upward facing dog. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Driving the heels towards the mat. Extending the left leg up, bending the left knee, stacking left hip on right as you drop the left foot towards the right side. Extend the leg and bend it back in. Extend and bend. And 3, 2, last one, pivoting back to center, left knee to left elbow, hinging forward, kicking back up, really opening that hip, seeing if you can keep your leg and your hip lifted, so you're opening up, and 2, last one, this time stepping forward, left foot on the outside of the mat, knee over ankle, bringing the forearms down to the floor or to a block. Again, option to release the right knee onto the mat. Once you find your position, breathing into it, pressing the shoulder against the left inner thigh, inhaling and exhaling. Rising back up, kicking that left foot all the way back up, swinging it forward, planting it down, releasing the right knee on the mat. Inhale, lifting all the way up as we hinge forward. And then releasing the left arm down, the right arm up. Feeling that deep stretch through the whole side body on the right hand side. And then cartwheel the hands forward, stepping the right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale. Samastiti. Coming into chair, extending the arms up, sitting back, knees over ankles, belly engaged, spine long. 5 times come into standing on the exhale. 5, 4, squeeze the glutes. 3, sit back low. 2, last 1, finding chair. Making sure you're pushing the hips back so the weight is over the ankles, not the toes. And then forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. This time your option's to hop back, or you can step right foot followed by left. If you're gonna jump, bend the knees, coming to plank. We're gonna do 5 push-ups here. I'm gonna keep my hands right where they are, bend the elbows by the ribs, exhale, press up. Do this from knees if your hips are dropping. So much better to modify than to do it with poor form from here, because you're just gonna hurt yourself and not get the benefit. After 5, Chaturanga, it should be really tough. Inhale to your up dog, exhale, press back down dog. As always, I'm migrating, pressing hands into the mat. Inhale, extend the right leg up, same hip opener. This time your option to flip the dog. The right foot comes down to the mat. You don't need to do this, you can stay up if you want. And we're just gonna dip towards the floor and lift back up. Dip and lift. And 3, 2, last 1, flip your dog back over, back for the right leg up in the air. This time knee comes across, right knee to left elbow for 5, and 4, and 3, 2, last 1, pause. Oh, I forgot this on the other side. I'm always forgetting my little zipper. Go down to the wrist and zip back up. Wrist to elbow. And 3, great for your abs. 2, last 1, come to pigeon. Kick that right leg across. Release it down. Extend the left leg behind you. Short break. It will not be a super long pigeon, but I'm going to give you a moment. So release that back leg behind you. Hips are square, chest is lifted. And then if you want, you can extend that forward and release down for maybe, like I said, 3 to 5 breaths. Releasing the hips. 1 more breath. And the next time you inhale, pressing up. We're going to kick all the way back to 3-legged down dog. And then bring that foot all the way forward, planting it down, rising up to a high lunge. So, knee over ankle, pushing through that back leg. Nice deep bend in the front knees, arms come to cactus. We're going to chest press as we dip, but I'm going to have you do 10 of these. We're going to increase the reps on this from 5 to 10. The glutes can handle it. Bending the back knee towards the mat, squeezing the arms together, and then press back up. 9, and open. Remember, we always focus on the back knee, not the front, because I don't want you tracking forward. 6, 5, 4, 3, finding your focal point to balance. Last 1, come to power lunge, arms press back, hinge forward, and 10 lifts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come to warrior 3. Come up on that right leg, extend the arms forward, push the left leg behind, crunch it in, arms to knees for 5, hug it in. Extend on the inhale, crunch it in for 4, extend, and 3, extend, 2, push it away, last 1, reach the arms away, push the heel away, belly button in, lower the toe to the floor and lift it back up. We're going to lower down for 5, lower and lift for 4, lower and lift for 3, and 2, last 1, coming up, hug that knee into the chest, standing up tall, and then we're going to come right into chair. sitting down. And we're going to stand up for 5. Sit back. For 4, squeeze the glutes. Sit back. For 3 and 2. Last one, coming to chair, push the hips away. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Hands find the mat, stepping left foot back or hopping 2 feet back to plank. 5 push-ups. Exhale on the way up. 4, 3, 2, last one, then Chaturanga. Inhale up to your up dog. Exhale back to down dog. Driving the heels toward the mat. Make sure you're rolling shoulders away. As you get tired, it's easy to kind of sink into your shoulders. Use your back. Extend your left leg up. Bend that left knee. Option here to flip the dog, coming all the way down to the other side. And then we're going to pulse up for 5. Lift up for 4. 3, really squeezing the glutes at the top. 2, last one, flipping back over, find your 3-legged down dog. Left knee across the body to the right elbow. And extend back up. And 4, extend. 3, and 2. Last one, zipper down to the wrist and up. 4, 3, 2. Last one, lift up, kick that foot out to your pigeon. Reach the right leg behind. Extend, extend, extend. Chest is lifted. Shoulders rolling away from the ears. And then if you'd like, you can release this down to the floor in your pigeon pose. And then press that back up, curling the back toes under. Push yourself up, kick the left leg up high, swinging all the way forward, planting it down, high lunge on this side. Again, left knee bent, right leg pushing away, arms coming to cactus. Find the focal point in front of you. This time as we dip the back knee down, we're going to lift the arms up overhead and then lat pull them down. Lift them up and squeeze down. Lift up and squeeze. Good. 6, 5, making sure you're not tracking out over the front toes. 3, 2, last one, coming to power lunge, hinging forward, extending the arms back, and pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up to your warrior 3, extending the arms away, extending the right leg away. Crunch it in. Squeeze everything in as you exhale. Inhale, extend. Crunch it in and inhale. Last one, extend, pull the belly button in, drop the toe to the floor, and lift back up. Lower down, inhale up, exhale down. Last one, lift up, hug it in, knee comes to chest. Dropping down into chair, placing the feet on the floor, but hands at heart center this time. Pushing the hips back, chest stays nice and lifted. Get as low as you can, and then we're going to twist, elbow to thigh, press to twist more, and then if you want, slide the elbow down as your hips continue to drop. But make sure you're twisting, not bending at the waist so much. Looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Next time you inhale, back to center, chest is lifted. Square the hips, square the knees, try to keep them in place. They don't shift when you twist. Twisting to the other side, elbow to the thigh, sliding that arm down the thigh, twisting to look up towards the ceiling. And releasing this into a forward fold. Straightening the legs as much as you can. Grabbing hold wherever you can reach. Maybe you grab ankles or calves. Maybe your big toes. Maybe you slip your hands under your feet. Pull your body down into this. Hamstrings are nice and warm now. So you can give a little bit more of a push, a pull to stretch them. And then release that, bending the knees, dropping the hips again to roll yourself up slowly. Restacking one vertebra on top of the next. Inhale, arms extend up. Exhale, Samastiti. Good, we're gonna step this out to a wide-legged stance. So that is more or less what I do, not every day, but most days. If I do a morning practice, what are asana? I'm gonna do that. I like it because it's energizing, it stretches you, but it also does some toning work. So we're gonna come down to our goddess. You bring the arms to goddess pose or modify however you want. They give you a heart center, they can extend. Let's sit back, try to keep the knees over the ankles, try to keep the chest lifted. And let's just hold here. Coming up on the ball of one foot, doesn't matter which. Let's do 5 pulses here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that heel, come up on the other heel. Notice there's not too much of a shift pulsing. My torso stays nice and centered. And lower that heel down. Can you drop a little lower in the goddess while still lifting the chest up, not bending forward? And then rise all the way up, turn those feet parallel, hinging all the way forward, releasing your head down. Taking a couple of breaths here. Bending the knees, rolling yourself all the way up. Okay, I'm going to give you a challenge. We're going to come down that forward fold again. And that is a more challenging way to get into our headstand. So I'm going to talk you through headstand with my hands on the floor in the tripod position. But if you want to just do your own version of headstand, you could come to forearms with your hands behind you, around your head. And if you need the wall, you can always do that against the wall. Okay? So let us one more time come into goddess. So turn the toes out, arms extend. Let's do a moving goddess this time. We'll do 10 of these. So squeeze nice and slow. Lower down and squeeze. Really contract the glutes at the top. 8. Squeeze them up. And pull the shoulder blades together. So even though your arms aren't moving right now, let's make that back and arms really active. They should actually get pretty tired out just holding this because you're engaging them. That's like 5-ish, I think. Might be cheating you of 1 or 2. 4. Show you mind. 3. 2. Last one. Squeeze up. Pivot the feet forward. Now, if you need to move to a wall or adjust yourself to try your headstand, do that now. If you want to try it this way, go ahead and release forward. Now, you have to walk those feet pretty far out. It depends on your flexibility, of course, but you need to get the crown of your head down to the mat. So walk the feet out. Find your head on the crown of the mat. No, find your crown of your head on the mat. Hands on the floor in a tripod position. So if you're just working on tripod, this is a great way to just put your knees here on your triceps. If you want your challenge headstand position, start to come up off your feet, lifting the legs up, squeezing them together, and coming to your headstand. Keep focusing on something in your eye line. If you're up against the wall, if you're doing a different version of headstand. I'm not going to hold this super long because we got more to do. When you're ready, I don't ever do this as gently as I want. Lower down. Sadly, I can't go down as slowly as I can go up. And then push yourself up. And then just hang over for a moment. So if you move to a wall or anything else, just come back. Forward fold, let it go. And then pivot towards either side of your mat. Step your feet back and just come to child's pose. I like to do this child's pose really tucked into a ball. My arms by my side, my head tucked really close to my knees. so that I'm releasing the back of my neck, breathing into my back. Take a few breaths. Good, and go ahead and bring yourself up. All right, so that was the standing part of the program. We'll spend the rest of the time down here. So I realized we didn't do, a lot of typical standing postures, but that's what I decided to do today. All right, let us come on out. Let's release our backs and do the leg stretch series, the Pilates leg stretch. So we're going to shift gears, and this is definitely going to be more purely Pilates. So for that, if you want, you can start working on the Pilates breath. So it's an inhale through the nose and a exhale through the mouth. If you want to keep breathing through the nose, that's fine. You just get more abdominal engagement if you breathe through the mouth. So let's go ahead and hold on to the backs of your thighs. Roll yourself all the way down. Give yourself a stretch. And then bring the right knee into the chest, holding on right hand to right ankle, left hand to the just below, not on the right knee. Always tucking chin towards chest to protect the neck. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, and now lift that leg as low as you want, or to modify, you go higher and higher. Okay, so you pick, keeping the belly button in. Remember that back stays pressed into the mat. Inhale, right leg comes in. Exhale, we switch. Inhale. Really squeezing it in. That's going to help your back release and really pushing it away to really help your hamstrings to stretch. And of course, the movement is what is working your core. 3 more. Eyes to thighs, like you have a peach between your chin and your chest. After that last one, bring your right knee in to meet the left, so now you're tucked into a little ball. On the inhale, our arms go straight up and our legs can go up, modified, lowering down. The lower you go, the harder it is. Hug it all in on the exhale. Inhale, extend, keep that back pressed into the mat. Exhale. Inhale, belly button pulling to the mat. Inhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, hold it. Lower the legs down as low as you can without compromising your back. And then bring the right leg in, catching the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Lowering the left leg as much as you want. And switch left leg in. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, left leg. Kick and switch. Keeping stable. So this is when I often talk about having a glass, a hot cup of coffee, a martini, balanced on your abdomen. You don't want to spill it. So you keep your core tight while your limbs are moving. 2. Last one. Bringing both legs up to meet, hands behind the head, elbows stay wide so you're not tugging on your head. Chin to chest, eyes to thighs. Lower the legs down as low as you can go without arching the back. Exhale, bring them up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, up. Inhale. Inhale. 5 more. Inhale. Exhale, up. 4, elbows wide. 3, 2, last one. Finally, coming to tabletop, elbows stay wide, knees come over hips, feet are pointed out, and we're going to twist for crisscross. So we lift, inhale, exhale to twist. One knee comes in towards the shoulder, the opposite elbow goes to the floor, back to center. Exhale to twist, inhale to center. Exhale, inhale. We're not going up and down. The head and shoulder blades stay off the mat the whole time. It's a twist, back to center. Twist, back to center. 3, last one. Finishing the opposite side from where you started, and release down. Bring your knees to your chest. And then place your feet on the floor, place your palms on the floor. Inhale to lift your hips up. Bring your hands behind your back, clasping them together so you can push your hips up even further. Check that your knees aren't flopping open, so keep them hips distance apart. Take some nice big inhales. And release. Really feeling the abdominal muscles expand. And slowly lower that down. Good. Extend the legs. Give yourself a stretch overhead. All right, spine stretch forward with our spinal roll up. I'll do one round modified and then I'll move to the full version. You decide what's best for you. Knees are going to be bent in the modification. Belly button in, pulling the back down towards the mat so there's no space between the mat and your back. Arms are straight up from shoulders. We're going to use momentum in the breath to roll ourselves up quickly. Inhale, use the exhale to roll up. Inhale, extend the legs. Exhale, with a rounded spine, you're going to reach forward. So arms reach forward, belly button pulls back, hips pull back, head drops between the arms, and you exhale completely as you stretch forward. Inhale, coming to sitting, bending the knees, pull the belly button in, and roll yourself all the way down, one vertebra at a time. There's your modification. If you want the more advanced, extend the legs. Inhale, exhale to quickly roll up. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale to really stretch forward. Exhaling completely. Inhale to sit up tall. Exhale to pull back one vertebra at a time. If you want to challenge yourself even more, you do a slow roll up. It's an inhale and an exhale to roll up like you're a zombie rising from the dead. Inhale, exhale to stretch forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, pull the belly button in. So you decide. We're going to do 3 more. Knees are either bent, legs are straight. Roll up slowly, roll up quickly. Inhale, exhale, but everyone should be rolling down slowly. Exhale again to stretch forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale as slowly as you can to roll back down. Inhale, exhale to roll up. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale, spine stretch forward. Inhale to sit up tall. Exhale to roll down. The last time, inhale. Exhale to roll up. Inhale. Exhale to stretch forward. Inhale. Exhale to slowly roll back down. All right. Final abdominal we're going to do will be the roll over. It's the opposite of that. For people who can't get their legs up and overhead, or people who should not be inverted for any reason, I mean, we've already done a bunch of inversions, or if you have neck problems that this bothers you. So I actually have neck problems, but this does not bother my neck. So it's not all neck problems, but if this does not feel good on your neck, then the alternative is just to practice your lift. So your feet are on your hands are on the mat, your legs are lifted, and you're just going to work on a lift and lower with control. We can all do a few of these. Lift up and lower with control. See if you can lower gently down without clomping onto the mat. And if you want to do the rollover, it's an inhale and exhale to come to like plow, but your feet don't touch the floor. Keep them parallel to the floor if you can. Open them just a little bit, a little more than hips distance, and then pull the belly button in to roll them all the way down. One vertebra at a time. The legs extend to swoop together and then roll over again. Open the bump on the inhale, exhale, slow it down. So this is not a big spread eagle, okay? It's just a little gap between your legs. Swoop them together, up and over on the exhale. Inhale to open, exhale to lower down. Inhale, swoop together, exhale over, inhale, open, exhale to lower down. One more like this. Swoop together on the inhale, exhale over, inhale open, exhale lower down. Keep the legs open now. We're going to do 5 the reverse. Lift them up with legs open, squeeze together, exhale, slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time. Inhale to swoop them just hips distance, well, more than hips distance, it's about shoulder distance. Squeeze them together and lower down, but it's not a big, wide practice your flexibility thing. Open them up, roll over on the exhale, inhale, squeeze together, exhale, lower down. Inhale, open up, exhale, over. If you go to the floor, that's fine. Squeeze them together, exhale, lower down. It just can put a little extra pressure on your neck, and it relaxes your abs in that moment because the floor is supporting them. Inhale, exhale, over. If you stop here parallel, you actually just have to work your abs more. Squeeze together and lower all the way down. Good, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little rock. And let's rock back and forth a few times, massaging the spine. Rolling like a ball so you're not smacking on the mat, but you are massaging. And coming back up. Good. Extend the legs out. So when you do a forward fold in yoga, Paschimottanasana, we do that with an extended spine. So in Pilates, it's a rounded spine. That's intentional. Arms stay high, belly button pulls in. Pilates did a lot in rounded spine position. In yoga, we tend to do more extended spine. So think about growing tall, extend your arms up, flex the feet hard, and now hinge forward, thinking about leading with your sternum, reaching forward and pausing when you feel like you're gonna round. And you should start to feel a really big stretch here in your low back. Then go ahead and release your arms so that you're not putting pressure on your shoulders, but keep that chest lifted. If you can reach your ankles or calves or even your toes, you can deepen that. But notice I'm not laying down on my knees. Now some of you can, but you want to think about getting your abdomen down first. And then as you release more, your ribs start to come down. And so then when you're uber flexible, you're laying across your legs. But it's not dropping the head down and just kind of compressing. So both these ways of forward folding, whether it be in the Pilates with a rounded spine or yoga with an extended spine, they still both stretch the back and the hamstrings effectively without collapsing. Now go ahead and just release wherever you are. Let the back go. Let the head go. Good, and bring that up. Keeping those legs extended. Option here, two stretching options. Option one is to bring the foot up on the inner thigh like we often do, kind of like a tree pose, but down on the mat. More challenge options to bring your foot across your thigh. Now, if you're new to this, just be gentle. You don't want to hurt your ankle. It's a good stretch for it, but don't overdo it. And let that knee drop down to the mat. So you decide, foot flexes towards the sky, inhale to extend up. Exhale to reach forward and down. And again, if you've got that foot across the ankle, you'll feel it stretching, and that's fine. Just don't overdo it. It's a way to practice getting into lotus or half lotus. It gets your ankles and knees ready for that. So take a few breaths here. And bring that back up. My favorite, seated half spinal twist. Bringing that right leg across. Option to tuck the opposite leg under. I shouldn't have said right. You might be doing the opposite. But I've got the right leg across, the left leg tucked under. You can be doing the reverse. Sit up nice and tall. You can use that bent knee to give yourself a hug. You can also do this with the extended leg extended rather than tucked behind. And then we're going to inhale the same arm as the knee that's bent, and we're going to twist that to the back. And then we're going to hug that knee, or bring the arm all the way over to get a deeper stretch. That arm can be up like you're waving to someone. I like to bind it with my foot or anywhere in between. Pull the right elbow or whatever elbow is back towards the back. Try to stay tall so you're twisting your spine rather than leaning back. And take 3 to 5 deep breaths here. Releasing this back to center, coming to Gurmukhasana, cow face posture. So the knee that's bent, try to tuck that foot behind, stacking your hips and stacking your knees. And then if your right leg is on top, bend your left elbow. If it's the other way around, if your left knee is on top, bend your right. And then your option is to grab hold of that tricep and stretch here, or reach the opposite arm around. If you can't catch your fingers, you can always put a strap or a washcloth or a t-shirt, just anything to bridge the gap between your hands. And take a couple breaths here. And if you can't get your legs into this position, you can have your legs however you want and still do a tricep stretch with us. Again, 3 to 5 breaths here. And releasing that, extending both legs again. Now I'm going to switch sides, so my right leg's out, left leg in. Just make sure you do the opposite. So again, same thing, the foot can go against the inner thigh or the foot can come across the thigh. Releasing that knee down, flex the foot, inhale to lift up, exhale to reach forward. Take some nice deep breaths here. And coming back up, crossing that foot over. Again, option to leave the leg extended or tuck it behind. Take a moment to sit tall, lift to grow nice and tall. Exhale as you hug that knee, find the hand behind you. And then again, option to come all the way over that leg, option to grab the foot. You can also bind here. I just find sometimes if you're reaching through and trying to bind, people get hung up on the bind and then they end up all like curled over and they miss the point of the twist. If binding helps you twist, go for it. Breathing into that. And then coming back to center, tucking that back foot behind, stacking your knees and your hips. Opposite side, so I'm going to bend my right elbow. Again, option to grab the tricep. Try not to tug on the elbow, and also equally try not to tug your shoulder out of its socket. It's so easy to overstretch our shoulders. So again, don't feel like you get a gold star just simply for binding. The idea here is to stretch your tricep and to stretch your shoulders. So do that however is going to work best for you. And if you get into Gurmukhasana and you feel like the face of a cow, awesome. You can flutter your big brown eyes and your long eyelashes. Good, and release out of that. Coming to Tabista Konasana, so legs extended, toes towards the ceiling, kneecaps towards the ceiling, hinging that forward. So again, think about lifting and then hinging from the chest. Again, your block is your friend. Maybe come to forearms, because again, I want you to be lifted, and so for some of us that means that it's helpful to be elevated with something under us. Taking some breaths here, releasing into it. And coming up to Tabista Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together, heels towards the body. Pressing the legs open. If that works for you, don't worry about bringing your big toes together. You actually get a better stretch if you just bring your pinkies together and let your feet open, unless you're real flexible and your knees are down on the mat, and then you have your toes together. But what most of us will do is bring the toes together and the knees come up. So just release. Good, releasing that. Once again, bending the knees, holding onto the backs of your thighs to lower yourself down, and then bringing those knees in, coming to your happy baby. I don't think there's ever a practice I do that doesn't end in happy baby. It's just such a nice way to go. It's a really gentle inversion. Opens up the hips. And it's just happy. There's a reason that babies do this. All right, and coming to your final relaxation. If you want to do hip opener and come to Tabista Konasana, of course you can. Otherwise, extending your legs in Savasana, opening them up a little bit so that your legs aren't touching. Palms out, palms up, arms out from the side of the body, rolling the shoulders down and back. Relaxing everything, taking a deep inhale through the nose. Lion's breath. Letting it go. One more. And then just relax. Gently bring chin to chest. Gently close your eyes. Allow your attention to come to your breath, watching it go in and out. Every exhalation allowing you to relax. Every inhalation drawing in peaceful energy. And then slowly keeping the breath slow, letting that heart rate enjoy its slower pace. Begin to reawaken, deepening the breath. Let the breath recharge the muscles. Wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Roll the wrists and roll the ankles. Roll the head from side to side. Drawing your knees towards your chest, roll over to one side, pausing in the fetal position, resting your head on your arm. Pausing there to thank yourself for your practice. Maybe thinking again of that intention that you set for yourself. Just noticing it, being aware of it, thanking it. And then press yourself up to any seated position. Legs crossed gently in front of you. Just pausing for a few breaths. Casting a glance over your body. Noticing your state of mind, your state of being, your state of awareness. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Press the palms together. Exhale as you bring them down to your heart. Om Shanti Om. I wish you peace. Namaste.